Hey everybody, what's up? On this video, let's find out how to combine lookalike audiences with interest to create the ultimate Facebook badass campaign or something like that. Hey guys, what's up? Welcome to another video, and sorry about that intro, but the reality is that when you're combining lookalike audiences with interest, you can have a ton of good results. Now, over the past week or so, I've been getting a ton of questions and private messages about how to actually go out there and use lookalike audiences and how to use interests, and I've made a video before on how to turn 200, 300, 1,000 subscribers or clients into 2 million potential people that you can target on Facebook ads. And I'm gonna leave a link to that video below so you can watch it. So if you have no idea what lookalike audiences are, you can go ahead and watch that video first and then come back to this one. Now, the reality is that a lot of advertisers on Facebook go out there and try to reach cold audiences. That is, people that they do not know anything about your brand, your website, whatever that is, and they're trying to target to them. And the reality is that that's kind of the last resort, the way I see it, because you can use a lot of other assets that you can develop before actually reaching the interest phase. What do I mean? Well, for example, if you have your pixel installed correctly on your page, on your website, then you can start retargeting those people. That's like the lowest hanging fruit possible, because people, they already know you, they already know who you are, they have visited you, you're fresh in their memory. So if you're trying to target them for a lead magnet or a promo, whatever that is, retargeting is number one. Now, number two is to actually upload your list, your email list, your subscriber list, your clients list, and serving ads to those people, so that would be number two asset, the lowest hanging fruit possible. Number three would be to actually create a lookalike audience, as I mentioned on the video that I'm gonna put on the link below. That's gonna be like number three, and then number four would be to go completely out and trying to target interest, like for example, entrepreneurship or real estate or aesthetic medicine, whatever that is, interest should be the last step of your campaign. Now, it can also be the most profitable one, because again, it's, if you target an interest like entrepreneurship, for example, you can have like 40 million people that like those kind of things, But the reality is that there's a huge secret. It's not a secret, it's kind of an approach and a strategy that I've been using for the past 6 months, and it's been getting me a ton of good results. So it's basically creating a lookalike audience and layering on top of that an interest. I'm gonna show you how to do that step by step so that you can replicate it and you can have the exact same results that I'm having, like $1 leads or really low conversion, cost per conversion, etc., on the computer. So let's hop into the computer real quick, and I'm gonna show you exactly how to do that. All right, everybody, welcome to the good old computer, where I'm gonna show you a little bit how to use the techniques that I've just showed you, okay? So first off, I wanna start creating a lookalike audience. This is pretty straightforward, this is pretty simple. I'm gonna show you how. So first, what you wanna do, as you can see, I have a ton of lookalike audiences here, but what you wanna do first is to go to create audience, custom audience, and then here what you wanna do is to create a customer file. So for example, let's say that you have a list of subscribers or a list of clients that you want to upload. So what you want to do is to go here, choose a file, or copy and paste data. Okay, then it's gonna open this little thing here, this window here, and then you can add a CSV or TXT file. And as you can see here, all of the identifiers that you can use. Okay, so for example, if you have emails, phone numbers, first name, last name, the more data that you input into Facebook, the better. Okay, you can do this, or you can copy and paste it. I'm not gonna do it because I have a bunch of lookalike audiences here created, custom audiences. But then once I have this, what I can do, let me close this. So what I could do is to create an audience, and here lookalike audience. So for example, let's say that, a custom audience, let's say that I want to go, for example, the guys that, let's say that I have a list here that I want to use, okay? So this is a list of people that sign up for Black Friday promotion. And here's the country that I want to target. So let's do, for example, United States, boom. And here's the audience size. So as you can see, the 1% of this list, the lookalike audience, would be around 2 million people, okay? And you can go broader, you can go, I usually go for 1%. Initially, so as to test this campaign and as to test this list, all right? So I'm gonna create the audience. I'm not gonna do it again because I already done it, but here you will click on create the audience and it's gonna take a little bit to populate. So my suggestion to you would be to actually create the audience, upload your customers list, then wait maybe a day or 12 hours for it to populate and then come back and create a lookalike audience. Now, something else that you could do is to, every month or so, if you're actively collecting leads, what you can do is to export that list. And then what you can do, for example, is to, let me see, something like, I don't know, let's see this. You can edit this and you can add customers to this audience, to the seed audience. Basically, that means that you will be adding more customers, and all of the lookalike audiences that come from this audience will also update. That means that, if you, let's say that you start with 100 people, but then you, 6 months or 3 months down the road, you have 600 people, then you input this and the lookalike audiences will become more and more accurate, if you would, okay? So that's basically how it works. You create a lookalike, you create a custom audience, and then you create a lookalike audience from that custom audience. Okay, so now you can reach 2 million people. But how do we actually layer the interest? That's the main point of this video. So what I want to go is to go to the Ads Manager real quick. I want to create a campaign. So the create campaign process is pretty straightforward. You will choose the marketing objective. Let's go with traffic real quick. For the sake of this objective, this campaign real quick, because I want to show you how this works the minute Facebook loads, of course, but I want to show you how it works over here. So here is where things start to get interesting. So the custom audience, I'm gonna pick a lookalike audience that I already created, for example, this one, okay? As you can see, I have purchasers members and I have 2 million people that I can reach here. But this would be kind of broad, to be completely honest with you. This would be kind of broad. So I want to narrow it a bit more. So let's pick men, for example, let's say, 25 to 45, which is kind of the demographic for this business. And then what I can do is to include people who match at least one of the following. For example, entrepreneurship. Okay? So if you would target on interest only, as you can see here, if you would target for interest only, you will have almost 200 million people that like entrepreneurship. That's really broad. And this is why people do not have success with Facebook advertising, because they usually go for the big interest. Okay? So what you want to do is to narrow it down. So I'm layering, as you can see, I'm layering this interest. I'm layering this interest on top of the lookalike audience. Okay, so I choose the lookalike audience and then I layer the interest. So with that being said, US people, like this is US, so I don't need to include any location because this is already for the USA only. So here, US, here this is the lookalike audience. I'm targeting men 25 to 45, and then I have entrepreneurship. And as you can see, I already have 560,000 people that I can reach. Okay, from 2 million, I end up with this. So this is basically how you layer interest. So my process would be to have different ad sets with the same lookalike audience. So I would pick this lookalike audience over and over again, and then I would use entrepreneurship, and then, for example, business owner, small business, and then I do business, and then I do startup company. So you will end up with 5 ad sets with the same lookalike audience but different interests. All right. So here's how you layer things on top, and then you can do, a bid placement, you can do your daily budget, whatever that is. But here's where things get really interesting, because these are people super targeted, because the lookalike audience is based on a demographic level, people that I don't know, have the same demographic or have the same habits, if you would. I think Facebook has like 50 points of contact to actually populate an audience. So that's accurate. But then if you add a layer on top of that, entrepreneurship, you will have, these people will be really, really relevant for your promotion. Okay? So this is how you lay things up. I hope it helps you guys, narrowing down the entire lookalike things, so that you do not go call lookalike audience, meaning 2 million people. Then you layer an interest on top, and it's gonna be much more relevant for your audience. Okay? So I hope this helped. If you have any questions whatsoever, just let me know, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.